tell me why now's the right time to release an album.
I think the motivation behind releasing the first songs that I released 3 or 4 years ago was very much that kind of pandemic fear push in the back that I think a lot of people had, realizing that you never know what's around the corner and that tomorrow is not promised, and that if there is something that you feel passionate about or that you love doing, you should do it now, because life is short and precious. And I kept imagining, I think I was waking up at the beginning of the pandemic in kind of like cold sweats, imagining myself in my 80s, kind of looking back at my life and regretting that I never kind of pursued one of the great passions of my life, which I had a sort of brief foray into in my late teens, but then kind of just left alone and kept it like almost like a secret for myself, my kind of like passion for writing songs and playing music and singing. And I thought I basically needed to let go of some fear of judgment, that if I put out music, people wouldn't take me seriously as an actor, or that if I put out music, people would kind of, have these crazy insights into my personal life, or whatever it might be that I was afraid of. I needed to kind of release those things and realize that there isn't really time on the planet for that. So that was the motivation behind the EP. And then I think just seeing the reactions when I first started touring in Europe, and the lovely reactions online, particularly on social media, to the music, watching people kind of do covers of it, or dance in their kitchen to it, or do little reels of them hugging their best mates to the songs, or pole dancing, or whatever it is that they were doing to the songs. An awful lot of pole dancing. I don't know where that comes from, but it was just so great to see people kind of taking the cue from me. If I can do kind of pop music as a man in his 40s, then people can kind of do the thing that they want to do. And I kind of talk about that in the shows a little bit, but watching people kind of do it in real time, and really kind of pick up that mantle and just get out and do the things that they love, made to the soundtrack that I had kind of made, was like incredibly rewarding.
That's awesome. I had read recently you said that you didn't start playing piano till you were 35.
Yeah.
Is that true?
It's true. I had one lesson when I was about 8, and the teacher was a horrible old witch, and she kind of shamed me at the end of the lesson, at the end of my very first lesson, and I was just a little kid, and she was horrible, and I remember it quite vividly, and I thought, well, I'm not going back to doing piano. Piano's stupid, and it is. I know it's really important to like not have regrets in life, and to be really appreciative of everything that's happened to you that's led you here. But if I had just gone back the next week, because in my mid-30s again, I actually was talking to, I had a conversation with my mum about priorities, and she wasn't very well at the time, and I said, well, that my priorities are to do this and this and this, and one of them was to play more music. And she said to me, she's very wise, and she said to me, those aren't your priorities. Those are ways you'd like to see yourself, or those are kind of dreams you've got, but they're not your priorities. Your priorities are the things you make a priority. And it really, it was one conversation. It wasn't even a long conversation, but it just knocked me to the floor. And I thought, right, those things that I think I want to prioritize, I have to make an effort to put to the top of the list. And so got a few lessons, and I just started spending some time there, and now it's become like a really a place of real like solace and peace for me. Like after a day of filming or whatever, I just sit at the piano and play some chords. It's just like it was a very valuable piece of advice.